We return to more Dawntrail with Erenville, Banui extraordinaire. I think it's time we return to Tuliolo after scaling Tyrell's tallest mountain and battling a legendary beast of death. Even tauntless heroes like you could probably use a rest. In any case, there are preparations to be made before we can visit the next destination laid out in the saga. But we'd be most welcome. I believe I hear the forward cabins calling our names. I want to know what happens to Bakool Ja Ja after this. This is going to be interesting. Getting our firework last night. Oh no! I'm sorry. Hi Gatling, how's it going? 10 out of 10 setup. I wasn't even the setup, I just put stuff there. I took a page of the Fat Electrician's book because dude is great. Dude has a great idea. But yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see Valigarmanda EX. I have been trying to bully Rev. Snekin 5? What do you mean? Fae boss is the spawn again? Oof. I want to do that Capybara boss. I hear it's the one that drops the Capybara mount. Like, I want it. I need it. It's gonna be great. It's not me. Oh man, I feel that. Allergies are real bad right now. Just vibing. Ah, yes. Rest well, everyone. We can meet back here later on. And just need one more. Nice, nice. You're close at least. Aaron to run the city, so I'll leave you to recover. Heading to the palace with Lamont. Lamont, did you hear me? Lost in our little world, it seems, well, no matter, I'll be back soon enough. Intend to send anybody to unlock your cabin, enjoy your stay. Alright, how's shit gonna go sideways? We know it's gonna go sideways, right? Hey, how's it going, Tamsin? Yeah, I heard about people commenting on Wook Lamott's VA. Anyone that uses Woke, just they're brain dead. Just treat them like they're brain dead. Treat them like they need a helmet. They need their handler. They're not allowed to do anything without their handler present. That's how you need to treat them. God, man, we can't have good things because of idiots. Just you left minus a light layer of dust. Nice. Live firework is not a fun experience, especially on a holiday. No, it is not. It is definitely not. Grum says, and avoid him like the plague. I have no clue who that is. But once again, anyone that says woke in a serious capacity like that, like, get bent. 5 million gills selling the new material. That's fucking amazing, actually. I'm jealous.
Have a moment?
Oh no. Oh no. We had the Wook Lamont route in the VN this time. Oh no.
There's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh no. Spending it in minions. It's fair minions, though, to be fair.
So,
Where are my tacos? Huh? Where's my tacos? This is how warriors, in fact, talk to each other. 100%. Nothing is said. There's only Unga Bunga. Banana. Yep.
it's just too stuffy in here, that's what.
Mate, you came into my place. What's happening? I like this pineapple over there, though.
We should go outside. Aye, a nice walk in the fresh air. That's what we need.
What? No, I'm not leaving. There's TV in here. Yes, we have cable. It's the music in the background. What do you mean music in the background? That's the game. I don't know what OST specifically. Dude, this Animal Crossing music, I forgot about it. It's killing me. Oh. Drag you away from your nice comfortable cabin. I can feel the walls closing. I'm just going to my favorite place to tell you all. That should help me get my thoughts in order. Go to Spun at Quarter, make our way up from there. Are you winning, son? I'm trying. that is the intent here. I mean, we're so close. We are at what? Oh, we're still 93s. We're not even close. I can't even sugarcoat that. I wanted to see how long it's going to take to get to the end. I'm 97 tonight. If I can push, I'd like to get to that. I'm trying to space it over the span of a few days so I don't, like, you know, go ham and then I'm just exhausted. Muscle Man moment day if boss fight happens. Oh no, bro. I knew, bro. Need a little ghost to follow me around. It's just high five ghost. That's the one. I feel like that's a weird litmus test. Do you remember regular show? Yes, no. With the answer, what's regular show? Nah, just walk away. You go to the crystal. Barely and sometimes not. See, I get it, though. I get it. This is how warriors communicate to each other. I was very happy with Valigarmanda, though. I was very happy with that fight. Like, it was mechanically heavy, and it was great. I mean, that's why I do things like Root of Nightmares, Vault of Glass, etc. in Destiny. Who knew Fives run? Oh god, I still like the Mississippi Queen episode. That one played a lot when there was limited content on air. Many words make waste. See, I couldn't even say that. You're right. What are you doing up and about? Is your back feeling better? But chill down. Don't make a fuss. Besides, I can't be lounging in bed all day when you're out fighting your hardest to win the throne. You're the claimant with the greatest love for peace. Desiree, sure. I missed it. Didn't we get, what was it? Almost There or whatever was the spiritual successor? I can't remember. This nation of ours attending, and lending my support is the least I can do. See you smile like that, how can I not be encouraged? Oh, there's plenty more who believe in your cause. I can create a whole bastion of smiling faces if you think that'll help. Yours alone's more than enough, thank you. And thank you, Third Promises. Pray for your success in the contest. Why say more word when few word do brick? Yeah. Yeah, Benson was actually the reasonable and rational adult in that show. All those smiling faces. Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Just like with the progress we've made in the contest, even these everyday encounters feel like much more special. GTN do bottom dollar bounties, do it. We can take our time and maybe wander around a little first, then we can head to the spot I was thinking of. But why, though? We had cable in the room. We could pay-per-view the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Why? Oh my god. Actually, some of the same you hear about ARR. I mean, it's a new beginning. It's a effectively like new game plus, so to speak. It's ARR/Stormblood 2.0.
Much better.
But why though?
I used to come here all the time when I was little. I'd look out over the whole city, and whatever worries I had would seem so small.
Are we gonna not make the everything the light touches is Tuliolal? What's that area? We don't go there. That's where the Yakoi are. We're not gonna make the funny Lion King meme.
Do you remember what I said at the top of Warkor Zormor?
Nope, not a clue.
That I would fight to preserve Papa's peaceful Tural?
She's about to get traumatized.
Well, I've been thinking a lot since then.
She's gonna get traumatized in Act 2 and 3.
About what peace really means. If it's just the absence of war. And it brought to mind all the best parts of our journey so far.
Bird. Bird! What, the smile on him. It works. Jolly good show. We have to. We're in Act 2 at this, or at least at the end of Act 1. We're at the end of Act 1.
I realized nothing gives me greater joy than the happiness of others.
My God.
Life has its ups and downs, but the company of family and friends, And the music of their laughter is what makes it worth living.
Ah, Keybird smile.
And as silly as it might sound, I've come to believe that those smiling faces are the best measure of peace. Really, I feel proud somehow. It's an answer I arrived at by trying to be true to myself. That you think I succeeded, it means a lot. So, this is my plan. When I become Dawn Servant, I'll build on Papa's peace. Our people will live together in happiness.
This expansion's gonna hurt. We're setting up all the feel goods just to take him away.
It's just like Kryl said. By taking the time to hear their concerns, understand their feelings, and consider how best to serve, with each passing day, I'll be that much closer to becoming the leader I want to be.
No, it's probably not gonna. It's just trauma, mass trauma.
It's hard for me to say how much I've changed since the contest began. But there's one thing I can say with confidence.
Think of this more as like Endwalker was more like Final Shape. And I've actually joked that Final Shape was just Destiny Endwalker. No, this is like the post-episode stuff as an expansion, right? How we're dealing with the Vex, and we're dealing with the Scorn and stuff. We're dealing with a completely new story.
I wouldn't have come this far without you as allies.
Bugs or not.
If it wasn't for you all listening and feeling and thinking along with me, I would have never learned so much, and in so short a time. There are 2 keystones left. After everything that's happened, and imagining what could happen, are you still willing to walk this path with me? Thank the gods for that. Well, I have nothing else to get off my chest. I need to head to the palace, but I'll see you back at the cabins.
That's when we get muscle. She's gonna craft see multiple things, gaining more strong. So I think people could actually heavily criticize her character development as far as like, oh, well, this is really fast paced. This was really, you know, not. One, she's clearly an adult. 2, she has the general thing that she wants to do. Oh, preserve peace. Wow, preserve peace hard. Yeah, preserving peace is going to be hard, but I want to build upon Bakool Ja Ja's peace, right? Like, I think it's a logical character progression. It might seem fast to people, but she is also a functioning adult. So, like, to me at least, it makes sense. When you're just out, that's a mood. The armor is so stupid, but I love it. Bird? But what? Are we gonna see the funny invaders early? There's no way. They could be Act 2, I guess. I'm going strictly from what I've seen in the release trailer. What are they setting up? I also don't know if day-night cycle always makes this night or not. No, the night jazz is actually really good. You can be in good spirits, assume your leisure time was well spent. It's gonna snatch some of your quality sleep myself. Now, after all, it will soon be back to the road for us. It's 94. Sure, others will be along shortly. I do hope that everyone has rested well. Peaceful intentions. Forwarded on Mr. Rourke might be a playable character. I didn't even know Borderlands 4 was going to be a thing. I haven't heard anything about it. Now that we've refreshed ourselves somewhat, let's consider the claimants as they currently stand. Zaralja and Kwana have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Wilklamot will be equal with them, but for Bakool Ja Ja's thievery, which has left us 1 short. The conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof and wreaked havoc at the feat of ice. He didn't have more than 3 keystones at most. You may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken, and I'll be taking back what is mine, this I swear. Fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, Bakool Ja Ja's unleashing of Valigarmanda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate he will move to obtain the remaining keystones for disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. Can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of serving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. That's a slippery slope. Category best expansion. I know it has like what, best ongoing service or something like that. Last 2 keystones we require are those that Lay of Repast and Lay of the Brotherhood. We want to pick cessation of hostilities between the Mamolja and Xibruq from the forest of Yoctel, specifically near a village called Brax. I was born, if you recall, I haven't been back since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant, but a little more than that. There's a similar tale of explorer Kentaram befriended a 2-headed king known as the Autarch before commencing his travel across Tyrell. He journeyed here several times after, was ultimately lost at sea, at least it's a commonly held belief. 2-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so Kentaram's fellow must have come to Tuliolal. Take my bits. Thank you, Mage Man. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. You didn't have to. But if he indeed arrived at some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet. Vestige of architecture notwithstanding. Say Autarch, then Kentaram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk, is that a city? One of the grandest in Tyrell once upon a time in the seat of Mamolja's homeland. It too lies in Yoctel, not far from Brax. All things considered, Yoctel seems an obvious choice for our next destination. Remember, the save of the travel is by dirigible. We make for the landing once our preparations are complete. Riding one of Kona's balloons, they can't be any worse than ships, can they? Ran unhyped. That's how I am, especially when we have games that just don't want to show off gameplay. That becomes my concern, is I need to see a tangible product be played. Like even like Destiny, it's like looking at the gameplay trailer, right? Yes, they put like God mode on it, so it looked like, but they still at least like showed the game and how it played, and I could like make a well-informed decision from that. I need to grind GMs this week. I need to get my shadow price with Bolt Shot. Select to Yoctel will be leaving shortly past dress. Keep hands, legs, and luggage inside their dirigible at all times. Yes, balloon. What is it but a boat in the sky? Good thing we'll stay in the air all the way to Yoctel. The bobbing gets me. Are you ready? Bags packed in there. Goodbyes said. There's no going back once we lift off. Not that I'm nervous or anything. Just making sure you're not nervous. Mountain Dew for the mountain. I did not. I didn't buy Mountain Dew. I can't do it anymore. Who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand just to settle my nerves? No! No! Maybe ask Aaronville. Nice person I've ever met trying to crush your hand. Oh no! No. Third promise. Wait just a moment. Oh yes, Duck Clan. The Yoski have arrived. Moblu and Tobli, of course, of course. But as long as you need. But we were able to discover the origin of Kryle's earring. That's so. So before they gained popularity, Noctral's protective word for travelers, correct? That's right, we tracked down an elderly merchant to whom First sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met in a market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that a charming taste of saltwood proved to be a commercial triumph. Foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfathered. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yaktel, where it seems you're already bound. My luck, then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Mere coincidence that that brought my grandfather there, or another discovery to look forward to. Both for coming all this way. I can't not see Egad's brush from Mario Sunshine every time I see the just like paintbrush. Anything for the third promise, good luck with the rest of the right. Thanks, I won't let you down. I just got aboard this dirigible and I'm good as there. Last call for passengers to Yaktel. Merchant outfit looks like it dies really well. Really hope she wins. Yaktel will test her mettle without a doubt. Next Dawntrail must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be. Ah, yes.
The fierce Xibruq hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yaktel. Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named.
And dirigible looks oddly arena-shaped.
It is here where the Xibruq and Bakool once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Mage Man, thank you for the sub. Ah, yes, boat.
Are you all right?
Nah.
I've never been good with heights.
Amazing.
The vegetation is far denser than in Kozumautka.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
A cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion. Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
Yeah, looks at her specifically.
It was one time.
I have said that a number of times.
Is the Xibruq community depicted in the Lay of Repast close?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
Would a killer involved to give me the benefit of the doubt or benefit of a second chance? Yes. Oh, no, it spawned me just far enough. With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in your sight at all times. Yes. Wow, we're going to be traveling all over the zone. Totally. Wasn't there a monster like in old A Realm Reborn, or at least 1.0? It was like Camp Bronze Lake. It was like it would like come up and like kill you. Why don't we have that anymore? Like we could have had like a river monster here. We'd had crocodiles come up and just start nipping you if you did this. That would have been so cool. Annoying, but cool. The hell is that? I don't like that. Like, I feel like water, both combat and traversal, is severely underutilized. Like, they could do stuff with it if they wanted to. They have the engine, they have the capability of doing it, and we have precedent with old Camp Bronze Lake. 9s and DT. No, that's specifically the Predator mount. That's Arc. Because he has mount music. There was a bridge that I totally missed, wasn't there? Yeah. Sounds about right. Not necrosis! Good, everyone's accounted for. Take breakfast ahead, let's be on our way. Mount movement is just faster. Aaron Ball was not exaggerating about the C notes. Be grueling when you had to climb out of one. Yeah, looks that's awful. Thankfully we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Getting so many things I don't really care about. One section divided between the previous. Okay, yeah. Ready to head on in. We're really expediting these last, like, 4. 3 through 7's going real quick. First task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tiredness won't reflect poorly on us. Yes, big cat. Good prompts in a retina, I presume. Resume right, I seek Dawn Servant's Elector. Come and join us in the Garden of Stars at the village center. Everyone's waiting for you. My god, they're all just mimics. Everyone? Might that be? But one way to find out, let us follow him. That pan up? This surely can't be a dungeon. Weird, that pan up threw me off. I know it's supposed to establish a setting, but that's used so much for dungeon and trial setup. Hey, it's hi Bakool Ja Ja. Or no, I forget his name. Yeah, it's Bakool, yeah.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
I love how annoyed he is. I love him.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with Valigarmanda in the first place.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
How is he not disqualified, though?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As Xibruq Rash, I have the honor of serving as Elector on behalf of my people.
The mustache, but why though?
As all 4 claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival.
Tournament arc? Tournament arc?
Third promise.
Top cut?
If you would please join us.
Yeah, like that's kind of the thing that feels like an oversight, and I hope gets addressed.
Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
So I guess it's like we set up Valigarmanda as this cataclysmic primal, right? Releasing it and just complete, like, you could argue the funny T word, terrorism, right? Domestic, but like it has to get addressed at some point, right? Like, what is the repercussions of this? Why is he here? Like, did the Dawn Servant hear news of this and go, no, he will, he's going to be a tool to test them, to push them harder? Like, I don't know. That's not sitting well with me right now. I'm assuming it's going to get addressed later, though.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner.
Got him.
Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Who's this going to be? 1, 2... 1, 2, Bakool Ja Ja, and Wuklamat.
Well forbid Wuklamat is paired with Bakool Ja Ja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
I'll say, don't manifest it, please. He is technically a team of 2. I have 2 heads, but you have 1 body. I only have 2 hands. 4 hands, yeah, of course.
Claimants, please present your colors.
Red versus blue? Let's go. Yes.
I have red.
My god, this is gonna be red versus blue. RVB, 14 edition.
Blue.
Blue.
On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Red.
Nope, it's gonna
Which
be...
means?
Yeah, it's gonna be Kona, Wuklamat, and Bakool Ja Ja in the first.
Together
That's...
again, as
yeah.
fate would have it.
That's the most logical.
Victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Cat versus Limzard.
Not the one hit.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows. Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Xibruq cuisine. Xibruq Pibil.
What? The raid food? Please tell me this is the raid food.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
He's so annoying. His sanity is crumbling as this expansion goes on.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Or it's subversive. It's the journey there, though.
Promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say?
Get out of here with that dad joke. That was bad, Thancred. You should feel bad.
Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
I'd crit an uber danger. Yeah.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living.
Yes, alcohol.
So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
Ding, 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 ding.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along?
They're just now figuring this out, my guy.
But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing
Here's the
innovation,
U-turn.
not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuliyollal onto a more prosperous future.
See, he was going. He was cruising along, right? 55 miles an hour cruising, right? Just chilling, and then just hard left turns. Awful. The forehead slap meme.
The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Xibruq Pibil will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques.
Makes sense.
Kitchens have been made available for your use.
Iron Chef, let's
Note
go!
that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster.
He is smart, not wise. The man has intelligence. That wisdom score, though.
Begin.
That wisdom score ain't looking so good. Nice dish. I'm waiting. It's gonna be great.
I've never actually heard of Xibruq Pibil before. What's it like, I wonder?
Is it some sort of cheese? Got little swim trunks on. Welcome to Iron Chef Eorzea. Unfortunately, that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakool Ja Ja's attempts to delay us. Serves him rats that he gets for endangering my peoples with his schemes. I like having a roadblock here, though. Like, this makes sense. A roadblock so that way no one gets so far ahead of the others. Like, it is a hardcore roadblock. And that, you know, it's like, hey, you probably reflect why is no one here yet, right? It's a safety built in. Just completely fairly, he's plenty strong and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. Really never understood him. Putting aside a competition for them will allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. See it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Got him. Precisely. Ellipses, precisely. We have an advantage in numbers, yes. Our competitions have a team of 6, 2 claimants, Saralja and Bakool Ja Ja and lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9, 3 more people we can mobilize. Alright, collect 10 bear asses, let's go. Task suitably delegated. It should seem a brisk affair to learn the SP and assemble necessary ingredients. You can story ground instead of constant escalation. Right, like you need those moments, those slow pockets. You need that ability to set up a story. It's why people criticize Ruby Volume 4 on a story level because nothing happens, right? Or people will there's another volume that they do. I think it's 6. They're setup volumes. Like, you have to set things up. Shadowbringers and Endwalker, I don't think stand without the setup of, you know, ARR, Heaven's Ward, and Stormblood all working in tandem to set the stage, even though you go to the first, right? But, like, macro political events in Eorzea make sense because of that setup. It's fine to have setup. You don't have to be gas all the way through. I'm wearing ARR, and I'm like, good, because ARR is the base of an entire game. I mean, yeah. This is way less reading in AR than my opinion. Okay, who was expecting Endwalker 2.0 is what I'm confused about. Like, everything I heard going into this, we're setting up the next 10 years. No one expected setup, no one expected exposition, nobody expected reading. Like, you're kidding me, right? Let's be overconfident, let's make a careless mistake that could be easily avoided. First order of us should be determining the recipe for the Xibruq Pibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Buy the whole store. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing daily habits of the Xibruq people. Let's gather here once we have seen the clues in the village has to offer. I don't know. I also had a conversation yesterday of just like, I don't. Like, there are valid criticisms. There are criticisms I have about Dawntrail so far, but at the end of the day, I'm enjoying it. There are many people that enjoy it. Oh, how do I get that? How do I get Drippy? Is he a dungeon drop? He's got to be a drop from the Porksy dungeon, right? Good too. And that's all that matters. Like, once again, I cite that I enjoy Resident Evil 5. People get really upset when I say that. Just since that's like, well, you know, Resident Evil 4 is better. Yeah, I like Resident Evil 4. I like Resident Evil 4 Remake. Damn it, it's from Adoys. I gotta go grind it then. Like, just let people enjoy it. If they start saying things like, oh, well, Resident Evil 5 is objectively better than Resident Evil 4. Okay. We need to have a discussion because, like, I want to understand your logic first off. How do we get there? Like, that's quite the big claim to make on not a whole lot. But you see how that works, right? If you were to say, you know, oh, well, you know, I did not necessarily like Dawntrail. I understand it's a setup volume, but there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of exposition. Some of the characters are wooden, and I feel like certain plot points were missed, right? As of right now, in context, why is Bakool Ja Ja still allowed to compete? I feel that's an overlooked plot point as of right now. It's probably going to get addressed later. But if it doesn't, say hypothetically, that's a criticism I have with the story. Why is he not serving time? Why is he still allowed to compete when he endangered everybody on the island with his reckless actions, right? Why did they write it this way? Did they just overlook it? But you see, that's a valid critique. What can I do for you? Message delivery some of my words. This is the gemstone merchant. Make sure I'm tuned to shit. Need bird. But it's still really good. And that's saying it, not everything is a 10 out of 10. And I think the years of, well, 9 out of 10, right? Oh, well, new Call of Duty, 9 out of 10. I think the years of all of that, just repeated Call of Duty getting 9 out of 10s, have kind of really, like, thrown that off. I'll just join the chat, right? Hi, Heavenly Father, how's it going? We gotta cut our losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think it won't tan our hides as leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we take it from that house cat before. How difficult would be seconds I beat. No! What are you looking at? Salt liquor, mind your own business. Salt liquor! Okay, I'm gonna start using that as an insult in game. Can you imagine hopping into League of Legends, hopping into Call of Duty? I don't know, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something, Magic the Gathering. So they're just like, counterspell? God, you're such a salt liquor. What did you call me? And that's how shitposting begins. Oh my god. That's great. I actually really like that. It should not be that funny. It's not funny. It's really not. Viva's mouth breather. Oh my god, dude. Like, we were talking about game shop stories last night. Woo. Like, if you like, I play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? It's whatever, right? I get it. It's a specific archetype of person that comes in. They come in, they look like they're wearing like a stained pillow sheet, and they don't shower, and they like eat like a Subway sandwich while playing the game across from you. Like, it's that archetype of person I have a problem with. And it's like, nah, I'm scooping. I'm good. I'll go next game. I'll go next opponent. I'm good, homie. Traditional Ishgardian cuisine. Hey, Archon Loaf is great. I was going to tell you, friend, it is so delicious meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything orders from New York himself. Mentioned has given me a fierce craving. Only hope there's still Xibruq to be had at a market. Wink. Brackets wink. Well, not brackets. I can't carrot wink. Carrot's not the word. I know it as less than and then less than greater than. But that's not how regular people look at that. Number of spices I'm telling from the tier nestled in a basket. That one's called Akiore. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medical benefits are slightly significant as well. I have a giant salt rock during the dinner cutscene. He does, though. You know, salt rock. My god. No, salt liquor is definitely the shitpost. Like, oh my god, it's great. I do remember you do have that that salt rock. It's so good. But no, honestly, it's like stuff like that, right? Stuff like that makes the expansion great. It makes games like this great. It's the little details, right? What is it? Helldivers, you had the boots of the Helldivers were leaving like the Helldivers logo, like because it was on the tread, right? It's little things like that we like in games. Colorful banana peel is neatly arranged on the ground, which appear to be smoking. Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my Najul. I mean, Jatika banana peel. I could hardly see it from all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a taste of banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. Yes. Actually, that reminds me. So I went out to Albertsons the other day. When I was going to SCA, I went out to Albertsons. And this Albertsons has an entire section of, I can't remember what it's called. It's like aged meat. Like, it's meat that, like, they just kind of let, like, sit there. How do I word it? I think you do cut the outside of it off. The way people work with meat is fascinating to me. Underground ovens, too. Those are actually, I hear there's a lot of stuff that can actually use that setup. I haven't had anything that uses it, but it's supposed to be raised. That's the number one banishee, right? Oh, it's so good, dude. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Xibruq Pibil? I am awful at reading this expansion. You have to also color that, like, if this sounds like it's a lot, you have to remember that I can read this in my head internally. When I start speaking it out loud, there's a barrier there a little bit. True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us directly. However, many were still preparing as one might a staple dish, and observing other techniques yielded clues enough. Lady blending local herbs and spice, only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Xibruq Pibil. But one in particular, she attributed all too common Xibral dishes, akiote, she called it. I see, then if Xibruq Pibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alphino claims, we have confirmed her first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook buying bundles wrapped in a leaf of Najul or banana in certain facilities. Would seem the use of a subterranean ovens is commonplace. But, like, it's just efficient, though, when you think about that, right? Like, if you want to do something like that, if you want to have an oven like that that's space efficient, it makes sense to have it underground. Naturally, nowadays, you know, we have, you know, modern technology. We have ovens, we got stoves, we have, you know, the dual. But, like from a space standpoint, this makes sense. And you're also not worried about burning your house down. Or being really hot inside. I like the concept. I'd have to dig into it. I'd have to see what dishes still use underground ovens like that, and I wonder if it actually affects, you know, what's being cooked in a capacity. I'd be very curious if soil actually affected that as well. Oh, that's actually interesting to think about. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles. Don't you? I mean, I'm assuming, like, probably not. But these things, they cross my mind. As would be expected of a dish called Xibruq Pibil, indeed. So to summarize, the dish is one of Xibruq flavor with a combination of spices that includes akiote and steamed underground with Najul or banana leaves. Certain type of ground to work with, non-high water table. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, like, if you, yeah, no, it would be location dependent. I mean, I don't think you could necessarily do it, you know, if you have like a bunch of sand, right? Like, it would have to be the right type of ground. This fascinates me, actually. I'm delving way too deep into this for a Final Fantasy stream. Given our assumptions are correct, must now learn how and when to procure ingredients. A staple cuisine's ingredients should be close at hand, which is why Thanker and I scouted the surrounding forest while you were exploring the village. In the local vegetation on Wild Xibruq, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. And leave it to a master gleaner. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks while some gather ingredients. Others should be made ready in the kitchen. Now prepare the kitchen. Carl's actually going to paint a kitchen. I'm into it. We do this as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience. Dude, firewood gatherer extraordinaire. I love this man. He's still doing it 10 years later. You should be glad to volunteer my aid. The rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I'm happy to lead someone to a suitable Xibruq if they perform the requisite deed. Alisei. As for Najul leaves, I believe I'm capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find Najul in these parts. They only grow in Jaktika Heartland forests far below these. I wonder if that's purposely similar to Raktika Greatwood. As an excursion, maybe time consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. It encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Namati, Kip, if you would accompany me on my errand. No better way to whet my appetite. Good, let us be about our task then. I wonder what people think about this trial. I wonder what the community consensus is. Let's go and get these Najul leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. See if these new leaves can be handmade in town. Perhaps the cookery I mentioned before maybe try to spare us a few. I mean, you could headcanon it as just, oh, fetch 10 bare asses quest. Like, you could do it. I don't think that's necessarily fair, though, because this does serve a narrative purpose. Like, the action-wise, yes, you're collecting stuff. But it serves the narrative, like, hey, talk to people. Talk to us. Be a community. Hygen, do you need something? Najul leaves for purposes other than Xibruq Pibil. Naturally, unfortunately, I've just used up my last shelf to travel to the lower forest for more. Golmajit Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in city markets can't compare. I see I'd hope to avoid such lengthy adventure, but there's no other way to obtain our ingredient than to Jaktika Heartland we shall go. Let me just save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the Beck Traverse, but it has been caved in due to the recent storm, I suspect. That means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there's no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat or else altered its objective. Got him. Perhaps I can neither confirm nor deny. Anyways, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I feel compelled to chime in. Very kind of you. Any last minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat or a pass with an empty stomach. You may find Xibruq Pibil to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. Oh no! I can't wait. So if there are no leaves here and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? Market board, let's go! Market board warriors. Feats are meant to be deep in our understanding of the peoples and cultures in Tuliolal. So perhaps there is something about Xibruq Pibil that we have yet to learn, something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like, who was the first to make its history, that sort of thing. It's the Yachtel story you're interested in. You should start with the Old War. I mean, Xibral and Mamolja, right? This forest have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. No, the end of that bloodshed is no Xibruq Pibil. What does steamed Xibruq have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing as though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of the settlement ruined by the war. The village of Ilian Asso lies a short distance to the east. Village of Ilian Asso, understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place. I mean, each zone is about 2 hours. Last zone in its entirety was about 2 hours. It's not bad. Like, from a time management perspective, it's not bad at all. You see Fat Chocobo zooming. I love seeing the mounts in this game. Sometimes they're so interesting. Figured I'd go help him out. Saw his health bar struggling a little bit. I mean, I gain nothing out of it. I love doing shit like that. Just show up, hey, you need help with something. Sure, I'll hit it. Especially because some people will trigger encounters without needing to. Makes their time. It just makes them spend less time on it. Village of Eorzean must be further east. Let's continue with Hall's haste. For all we know, our competitors may be in our heels. Just a little further east. Just a little bit. A little further, Stan. Sastasha's leveling when all my jobs are over 90. Yeah, that's a... It's so rough to get stuff like that. That's a hunt. Starcry. Like, and I know you can try to mitigate that by setting minimum... What is it? Minimum level roulette or something like that in your settings. But that's not guaranteed. As long as one person has it unticked, you could be all 90s and get like Sastasha or like... what's the other one? Not Cutters. Sastasha, you could get Copper Bell, you could get really any of those dungeons. Which is unfortunate because you're like, but we're all of level. But it does pull from a random pool, and there is a lot of ARR. Even it still seems like I get mostly ARR to this day. It still seems like I get a lot of ARR, a lot of Heaven's Word and Stormblood. But that's, you know, a lot more content than we had released in Endwalker and Shadowbringers. We had a lot of Shadowbringers like trials though, like the weapon series and stuff. This village of or what's left of it. This place of light and life. My great grandfather called it home. In fact, it's the dude. Well, I didn't know you were in Dawntrail. Not having abilities? Yeah, you don't have buttons. It sucks. Picking up lumber from Xibruq when I heard the third promise was on our way to the site in deep historical significance. We saw another opportunity to be of service and so followed you here. Bukavu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. Plus, you remember the third promise's retinue, I presume. For a moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh, is he going to do the funny thing where he didn't recognize it? He's like, please take my head. Kona, that's a good name. A similar name. Where have I heard? Yeah, they keep the goat. The joke just keeps going. It's great. As the second promise of Tulio. Think that I dressed the Dawn Servant's own son as some common routine. Such respect cannot be excused. Please take up your gun and... Come on, not this again. Take no offense. Please do it. Not dwell on it. Okay, not gonna dwell on it. All right then, I shall not dwell on it. I love this man, and right on cue. At least he is consistent. Yeah. You can argue he's consistent. A bit down is too much effort. I think that it comes down to if you have the abilities, you have an unfair advantage over somebody in the same activity. So let's say you're gonna do Praetorium, right? And you're gonna scale, I don't know, like Primal Rend down. Like how do you balance that? Like how do you do that? How do you the same argument is how do you balance something for PvP and PvE? Something even in 14 in Destiny, Call of Duty, right? I mean, usually you have different damage gacha games, you have different damage tables for PvE and PvP. So like I don't even think that it's like that it's too much work because there is a lot of work into doing it. It's just like why? And like I get it as somebody that like wants to have Primal Rend or like my like higher mitigations as a tank in Praetorium. I also don't need them. Like, we have enough value in our ARR kits now, especially with stuff that's gotten taken out. Like, our ARR kits are so streamlined. Like, it's a non-issue. It's very low in PvE. Who cares? At that point, you can go, new guy looks at the cool ability. Yes and no. Like, it's why, I mean, why is MSQ roulette a thing, right? Because we need people to play MSQ. We need people to do Castrum, Praetorium, and Ultima, right? We have to have people doing those. And we can't skip cutscenes because that's unfair to the new player experience. We've gone over this before. I don't think that it's... You're effectively going back in time to ARR, is all it is. And so disabling is the logical, linear choice for that. Do I still hate not having my abilities? Yes. But logically, I look at it and it makes sense. I understand you wish to learn about Xibruq Pibil, while I'm forbidden by the Xibruq's Rosh to divulge any further regarding its preparation. I would be happy to share what I know of Yoctel's history. We appreciate that. Most basic sense, the conflict in Xibruq, the Xibruq and Mamalja was one of the land. Mamalja live in the lower forest, with the canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. Rode to covet the upper forest, the home of Xibruq, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors the higher ground, and Xibruq force. I have the high ground, Mamalja. And Xibruq forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them again and again. But as the state of the village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought about it? Speaking all too well, blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamalja were once a people as much at war within themselves as they were with others. The Hubigo, Bunawa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged in Xibruq battle. In an effort to strengthen the bonds and discourage infighting, Hubigo and Bunawa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one had ever seen. Imagine the two-headeds. Among believed that partners of different clans could not have children together, but then it happened a child arrived who shared the blood of Hubigo and Bunawa, both a two-headed Mamalja. Interesting. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior, who eventually rising to first autarch ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the autarch's rule, newly united Mamalja became a force to be feared, and war soon came to a head. I think it's best to see the results firsthand. Let's visit another battlefield from that time. There I shall continue the tale. Your abilities in LFG, your level is synced in all your numbers, but you still play the higher level players. However, higher level players have all their buffs and ability interactions. They completely carry lower level dungeons, and lower level players just have to run, try and keep up. Well, from the WoW perspective, not knowing enough about it, because I haven't really played it. Like, how is that fun? You're not playing the game, especially if you're new at that point, and then you argue, well, just carry new players. It helps them get their content easier. No, it just makes, well, I mean, these players have already played. I'm getting carried. I can't play the game. And even then, it also has the knock-on effect of making worse players at the end. Because if you have that, and you go all the way from ARR to Shadowbringers, right? Like, you start, say, Holminster Switch, where the difficulty spike hits, and you've been carried that entire time. You got carried through Shinryu, you got carried through Copperbell, you got carried through, almost said Tiamat, through Nidhogg, right? Do you know your abilities? I mean, sure, you encounter people in the twinning that don't know their abilities, but I mean, that's, because they're trying something like Sage or a class that they want to try, right? That's fine. It's why I argue that the way that Crystal Tower is balanced, specifically Circus, and the way people play it makes worse players. In Crystal Tower, everybody stacks the stacks. You know what happens when you stack the stack in late game content? You just die. You don't stack the stacks, but because you get Crystal Tower Circus so much, people just stack the stacks until someone tells them or they learn better. Like, it's that same effect. If you get carried through that content and you're not able to play the content, you're gonna hit your first bump in the road, Holminster Switch, Tower of Babel, Tower of Zot, right? And you're just gonna not play the game. At least that's how I interpret that. Most players are rushing to endgame. Well, you know what? I had to play the game. They have to play the game too. Like, point in case. Buy a skip if not. But even then, even if you buy a skip, you still have to play the game and learn the game to play the game.
This is where most battles were fought between the Xibruq and Mamalja. The Shobrit Cinder Field.
A field of cinders, indeed.
How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yokui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valigarmanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Who is it? That's Wookieva's axe. Who has it?
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours! If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace!
Buff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill deserve the bounty of this forest.
So her axe is actually in the, like, on this Momolja's back. Huh.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives.
Yeah, see, it's Giant Dude. Yeah, he was part of the party.
Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us.
No, he's a great character.
Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then?
That's called colonization. No, that's just the Momolja's eyes.
You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Belu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas.
Yeah, so I was right. They're all part of his party.
Strike again from a distance? The Hanu Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation.
Who's the Banui?
The guiding principle of the nation
Oh, is that
we envision.
Erenvil's teacher?
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Just do it.
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
Feels weird to see two-headed monster that isn't dumb and stupider personalities, right? 14 does a good job of teaching players mechanics. Yes, it does teach players mechanics very well, especially because fights like Zodiac showcase, like,
and
hey,
so began that legendary banquet.
this is Paradigma, or if you have like Ilbert who jumps back and does his sweep attack, right? And then, you know, you see it in other things, right? But like, there's certain finer mechanics that get a little strange, like stacking stacks and stuff like that. Like, certain things it'll throw at you. Limit Break 3 for tanks is one of those that I'm actually really critical of, because the first time you see it is an optional content, which is Alexander 12, A12. And then you see it in, like, what, Elidibus, Seed of Sacrifice, and that timing can be a little rough. And then you see it again in Endsinger. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. You just have to know the fight makes you Limit Break 3 for Tank Limit Break 3. I'm critical of that because there's not really feedback or anything that really shows it, and honestly will more than likely end up in a wipe if people go blind into that activity.
One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn Servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Xibruq steamed Najul.
You combine the dishes.
Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn Servant laughed and declared once more,
Thank you for the call. Yes, you do, or thank you for the sub. So you do get a, like, 5, 4, 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that kind of thing, right? However, if your tank's not paying, yes, your tank's not paying attention. I am critical of the mechanic because it needs to be used more, because there's only like 3 or 4 instances of it, and it doesn't. You could have your tank completely miss it if they don't know what they're doing, or if you have that knock-on effect like we just explained, 10 minutes ago in regards to making worse players. If you're carried as a tank through A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, and Shadowbringers, by the time you get to Seed of Sacrifice, do you know that you should be popping Limit Break 3 as a tank? Or are you just going to be like, well, I thought DPSs do it to make the fight, to drop the health bar faster?
their flavors, he said, would be even better combined. And he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
Hey, Smiley, how's it going?
That's Xibruq Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Xibruq and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn Servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast.
Oh, Jack. Hi, how's it going, Jack?
In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn Servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
He's such a cool character. Ultimates are a different beast entirely, though, to be fair.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Xibruq Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
Like, I'm not against the tank LB3 as a mechanic. If anything, I feel it should be more normalized and used a little more. Like, use it in some activities more. Start having people think in those dimensions without just like, hey, we're just gonna, you know, have a physical DPS or whatever our strongest DPS is, use it. Have it use more, that limit break more. Lived his words, he traveled, landed, learned about our people's myriad cultures. We're doing the same now. Wookiee has given us valuable insight into the origin of Xibruq Pibil. However, we are still no closer to procuring the necessary individual leaves unless... Tell me, was a historic feast commemorated in some fashion with a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. Bird. Here it is, offered up by two factions. These weapons symbolize their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it would only logical that a monument like this may steer us true. Especially one at the heart of such significant a battle. Lamati Kip, I would have you help me search this area for clues. Tell me if anything catches your eye. Thing. Have a wipe attack. If yes, tank. If no, melee DPS. Right, but I mean, if you were to say, what's a good example? Not Endsinger, because Endsinger already has an LB3, that's mandatory. If you were to have the gauge, right? Hey, like, the, attack in this one, right? The giant dude from at the top of the mountain, how it's Temple of the Fist, you have to gather the orbs and stuff. If he gets all the orbs, he wipes you, right? But even if you have... I think you can only get Limit Break 2 in that fight. But even then, like, you can't tank Limit Break because he'll just wipe you anyways, right? It doesn't... It, as far as I'm aware, stops certain mechanics and is necessary to progress certain fights. But if you have a wipe meter get full and they execute that attack, it's a wipe regardless, right? Turned... Someone buried a box. What's in the box? It's a loot box. My god. That's what we call true damage. Right. But, like, you see that, like... Which, it makes sense, right? If they get the mechanic off, that's fine. Like, yeah, it's a party wipe. You guys didn't collect the orbs, Temple of the Fist style. Totally makes sense. I'm satisfied. Only a hint, but there they are. Fresh no jewel leaves. Work's doing, I'd wager there's poetry and hiding them on his battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. So he planned all this from the start. Box. Thanking Wookiee, we wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. My honor to render assistance and apologies to the present company. Allow me to offer my encouragement as well. Third promise, ever since I witnessed your performance at the field of the feet of reeds, certain that you are the claimants worthy of leading our nation. All devised solutions to Hanuhana's alien crops, but you alone sought to know that culture and revive the Ihihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. My humble opinion, no one cares more for your people until you all own what they hold dear. It's also just a tank thing. It's just a tank argument. Right? It's one of those that, like, cool, we can have a discussion about true damage and tank LB3. At the end of the day, the game plays fine. I am getting so far into the weeds and particulars of tank LB3, your average person is not going to care. Should you again require historical musings, shipwright, I'm ever at your service. For now, I take my leave. And that's fine. Like, not everybody has to play this game at a, like, super meta level. Should just give individual limit break bars at this point. When was the last time you saw a ranged DPS or healer LB3? Consistently, actually. There are certain things where, like, Praetorium, right? If there are ranged DPS, just pop LB3, hit 2 Gaiuses. Healer LB3, the party gets in a rough state. The healer recovers. Yeah, no, like, you regularly will see those. It's rare if everyone's doing their job right. I'll argue with that. Well, we need. Let's return to Xibruq. I think individual limit break. I don't think that'd be a good thing. Tends to be for cinematic moments. It is. Tanks will progress the fight using that. You have to save it. You just have to go into the fight. Really, it's just it's easier to know going into a fight if you need to LB3 or not. Because, like, Seed of Sacrifice, right? Rev was actually in one recently. And one of the new DP, I think it was a Pictomancer, actually. They whiffed it because they cast their LB3 and they were like, who casted LB3? Or they were trying to, like, shift blame. And it's like, mate, we saw that it was the Picto limit break. What? And that's fine. If people mess up, people mess up. It's fine. It was successful. The others could be back soon, I expect. Hope so. I'm famished. Did I not hit the right one? No, it's destination. I wonder if I would like at least one fight and expansion to have a tank LB3 just to kind of normalize it. I think that would help. I don't remember there being one in Stormblood. Not everyone fair. Got no jewel leaves. Wokiva came along and helped us find them. Wokiva was here. I would like to say hello. As he gives us an important history lesson. I like that these tasks are going to be getting harder for, like, the first and Bakool Ja Ja because they're not paying attention. Whereas, we kind of have the advantage because, like, our party has been paying attention throughout the entire the rite of succession. It's been really interesting to watch. Bakool Ja Ja brought an end to centuries of warfare. Surprises me a little bit. To achieve such peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest solutions, but how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Eorzean, I made another tour of the village and borrowed our cooking utensils we needed, with no mention of what we need them for. Of course. Graphic marker, 3 shields floating over the tank while the boss is changing. The one issue I run into is Elidibus. You have to know when he does it. I think it's after he consumes his bar and the animation starts, because you can whiff it even if you know it's coming. So it's just all about timing. Like, if there's a clearer and more streamlined way of doing it, I don't think I have an issue. But Seed of Sacrifice is repeatedly the offender here. It's not Endsinger. And I'm pleased to report that we have stocked the finest firewood this force had to offer. Looking like a true expert, Erenville and I found our Xibruq, so we should have meat aplenty. It was a spirited creature, so much so that the hunter fell down to Sino trying to catch it. Hard to never speak this to anyone. Did you not understand? Ah, yes. Violence, the Alice way. Big portion of local herbs with particular attention to the seeds that yield Akiote. I'm told our resident astrologian defined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. On first inquiry, and I determined our ideal balance of spices. The graphic just tells you the mechanic is coming. It's like a tank buster. The graphic tells you what's coming, doesn't tell you what to do about it. I could see that. I mean, we still have like we still have tank busters, cleaves, dual, triple tank buster, right? Stack markers. Like we still have stuff like that still goes on in the fight. I wonder if they're trying to limit that though, because it could eventually become a little cluttered. Like look at the Valigarmanda fight. Like the nail phase. I think it's starting to get a little cluttered on screen for your average person. All that remains is to prepare the dish itself. Present at least one among us is versed in culinary arts. Can hardly claim profound skill, but I've cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. Trials, in fact, Iron Chef Eorzea. From the Charlian team. Yeah. Here, I hope I could use adventurer's grit when it comes to skinning the Xibruq. My mouth is watering already. Without further delay, and then, oh my god, Dawntrail theme. Let's go. Like, I was perfectly fine with Alexander's, like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because on 2, I just pop it. I think that's plenty. Seed of Sacrifice just that's the one. I don't know how you tweak it. I don't know how you tweak it and still keep that cinematic appeal. Don't use the no.
So good.
New graphic update is still throwing me off a little bit. Urianja's face is throwing me off at certain lights.
I shall prepare our sample at once.
Oh. I laugh every time at the ring around his neck.
I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
You're like, damn right.
Be quiet, Bakool Ja Ja. No one cares what you think.
Ah, got him.
Huh. Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
It's ready.
Nice. Yes. Small. Are they tacos? No way.
Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Xibruq Pibil.
No, not tacos. No.
This looks amazing.
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Xibruq. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Got him. Mate, you can't do that anymore. You can't do that in the lab anymore.
All of the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then.
So, my sister has a lot more college experience than I did, because I went to college and I did like biology and stuff. I got a decent grade in it. But my sister did other science stuff, right? I also speak with a shocking amount of scientists now that I think about it. But like, what is it? You used to be able to taste in labs. You used to be able to like sniff. You're supposed to waft, right? But even then, I don't even think you're supposed to waft anymore. Like, because, you know, chemicals, brain, right? So dude's just like getting up in there and I'm just like, oh man, lab safety. Kip SDS is on the scene. Tacos do sound good though. It's a very small taco. What is the texture on his hand?
In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Xibruq Pibil admirably.
Admirably, not perfectly.
Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter.
But the why?
But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yoctel's history of violence, and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring Dawn servants. And for that, I commend you.
But this gives the other team open information
All
now.
that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
Texting that I want tacos tonight. We're gonna do tacos.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment.
Got him. Just trash. Just like that drum around your neck. Oh, got him.
Ours is also a faithful example of Xibruq Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
That is one very small taco for one very large man. Saw the clip. I saw the clipping on that. Oh no! Oh!
I see.
Oh no! That right there. That is the meme face right there. Right here. There's your screenshot. I see. Oh.
While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Oh.
Preposterous! The
Got
meat
him.
was marinated and spiced before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Xibruq Pibil.
He's about to go Gordon Ramsay on you. Let's go!
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
Ooh, burn.
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves. You can't fault us.
Dude's actually throwing a temper tantrum.
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed, they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Nah, this team takes the fat L straight up. Like fat L. Big fat L.
It's
Bold.
just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
This man does not understand cooking at all.
Your dish lacks
Everybody
an
just
essential
like that.
ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Xibruq Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory.
Ooh.
Your team will not receive keystones.
He was like, okay, I'll just... Okay. I'll steal it anyways.
This was stupid anyway.
Got him. Ooh. Huh. What are you feeling, Kryl?
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards family.
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
Got him. Yes, tacos.
It's delicious! The brook is so tender it melts in your mouth. And the way the Najuli rounds out these spices is sublime.
Okay, no joke though. When I had a Sizzler open near me, it's closed down now. But when I had a Sizzler open near me and their taco bar, their pulled pork, like, bro, that stuff was like amazing. Like just like chomp, chomp, chomp. The texture on it was great. Oh my god, it was moist. It was tender. It was, oh, dude, I miss it. I'm such a, oh, I can't say that word on Twitch. I love pulled pork. We're gonna put it that way.
This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
Let's not tease them.
Choke on your harmony.
Got him.
Come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
Don't have to tell me twice.
I love this whole feat. This feat was amazing. And it also shows, it's also weeding out those that don't care. They might have the martial ability. Because remember, he found, the first found a golden alpaca. Right? He found it. But he fails something like this.
It was palatable enough, I suppose.
Oof. The edge. The sass.
To you, who have successfully performed the feat of repast, I present these keystones.
Keystone Light? Keystones, these stones. Ah, yes, this one tastes like mango.
Only 1 feet left.
So what's the 7th one going to be? How is it going to
going, then.
differentiate these two?
I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
Got him.
We can do better than that, surely.
There's the Thancred meme. We can do better than that. Dude, this expansion has some great meme moments, though, straight up.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone.
We've officially obtained the 6-pack -1.
I forgot something important.
Oh no.
Was there any Xibruq Pibil left? I could really use another helping.
That's me, though. Tacos? Dude, I'll eat all day. I will actually just eat tacos to eat tacos. Like, I could be full and I will still eat tacos. Dawntrail. Dude, this writing's great. Like, do you people have phones? Do you people read? This is great. I'm having fun. So good, I'm already looking forward to helping with the Xibruq Pibil again. Here, get probably more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. Thinking to buy more on the road myself. Now that the feat of repast is over, the villagers feel free to offer it to us, right? Oh, okay, it's tabletop. No, it's not the raid food. No! What is the raid food? Please tell me it's corn. Please tell me the 100 raid food is corn. Just like corn on cob status. And Father's Grief. Seeing as now we face the penultimate objective of the right, it would be wise to travel to Mamuk and undertake the feat of the Brotherhood without delay. Yes, wise, yes, but impossible. The Tianbek Traverse, which connects the Upper Forest to the Jatika Heartland, is impassable. Food is some sort of soup. Yes! Eat soup. Get swole. Get strong. Is there no other route? Afraid not. Work to clear the paths underway, though, so I'm hopeful that we can resume our journey soon. Let's each use as time as we see fit. I, for one, would like to explore the villages surrounds. Farinville would oblige me with a tour. Very well, I have no other engagements. And I come with you, if only to prove that I am capable of keeping my footing. Though I should rejoice at our delay, it does afford me an opportunity to look at my grandfather's reported visit to Yoctel. That's right, Mablu did say something about a foreign mage coming around here 3 decades back. Didn't she? I'll come with you. Want to join us? I want tacos. No, no, don't you pull me away. You pulled me from cable TV and now tacos? How could you? You monster. We can be here after our respective diversions. As I recall, the merchant met my grandfather at a market in Yoctel some 20 years ago. Any who might reliably remember him must therefore be at least middle-aged. Let us make inquiries where we can. Alright. If you're on the VOD channel, Kip TV channel, this is a perfect cutting point. So I'll see you in the next one.